Hey, what's up, you lovely human beings? Frank Valkyria here. Welcome to the channel for another video. Yes, let's do this. Let's get into the information of today, into the news of today. So, I've done already a couple of videos, one very short and another one a reaction to the Johnny Depp cameo appearance at MTV Video Music Award. But I want to focus on this video on something different, which is how already some of the mainstream medias it's reacting to it. And the reason being is always the same. It's that kind of compelling need of trying to vilify somebody. And it's so ironic because a lot of those delusional pages which they are affiliated with which they try to still support the person that actually perpetuated the abuse towards Johnny Depp, they do all kinds of claims. As you can see here, there's all kinds of hashtags going about, including the Barlow woman hashtag that still goes on and on and on. Probably you can check some kind of outrageous stuff she's saying about the VMA. So there is also the third hashtag here, which keeps going. It just likes to keep going. People love to remind ourselves or others that the third exists. Can't help it. It's not my fault. It's just right there. But there's also great hashtags, commemorating in a positive manner Johnny Depp winning, and he's winning. So my impression of the Video Music Award is that it is a cameo. They planned this thing just, obviously MTV probably needed the push. They liked to use this momentum of both fans of Johnny Depp and also all the millions of other people which they feel compelled to support Johnny out of his abusive relationship and supporting him with their presence, with their likes, with their sharings, because they sympathize with the man that has gone through years and years of mistreatment, abuse, both by the ex-partner but also by the media. I've said this a million times, he was just fired on allegations few days after those allegations came out, literally destroying his life, and if anything, propelling his life even further into difficulties. But anyway, the VMA comes out, he does this cameo CGI appearance, like he's probably there projected, or is a screen inside this robot, and he pre-recorded this. It's all fine. He did a little cameo, self-deprecating, making fun of himself, not taking himself too seriously. I needed the work. That's what he says, and I think it's actually quite funny. Doesn't have to be reinventing the wheel. Of course, something like this would have been always a little strange, because we're talking about Johnny Depp. But if you put it in the context of where he's coming from, the attention that he has garnered around the world because of this trial, the outcome, the final sort of cleaning up his image and name. So it's just a gimmick. That's all it is. It's just a gimmick. People they're not upset about it. They're not enraged about it. Most people can see the fun in it, can see the self-deprecating humor. And if anything, it's an acknowledgement that of the audience. MTV understands that, and they did it in purpose, of course, obviously also for their benefit, but also for the benefit of being associated with the platform, with the channel that saw that the audience wanted JD to be celebrated somehow. And that's why this exists. You shouldn't read too much into it. But of course, here we go, the independent, creepy and out of touch, how MTV viewers responded to Johnny Depp's shock's appearance. Wasn't shocking, it's just shocking for you. I'm shocked that people actually pay subscription to this magazine, honestly. That's the thing that I'm shocked about. And here we have the Daily Beast. Why did MTV allow Johnny Depp to make a creepy VMA's cameo? Because he's cool and you are not. That's why. And people liked it. That's all there is to it. All right? So the part that I was interesting, it's this part right here that of course indicates that MTV is affiliated with all these other channels, which they had to agree to this little cameo, I suppose, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't want to be associated with it. So the fact that all these companies here, parental companies, companies and whatnot, they are putting their name under this, cameo, so to speak. It tells you a lot on what you need to know in regards of whether or not Johnny Depp is still a bankable celebrity, artist, is a viable actor to make money from, because at the end of the day, that's what those companies look for. And by recognizing the audience, that we want to see JD, people want to see JD somewhere, starting to pick up his career. It's a good move. It's really a good move, for both of them. For MTV, because probably a lot of people tuned in to watch just a cameo, otherwise they wouldn't have watched the show. That probably hasn't the same power it had like 20 years ago, of course. But at the same time, it's also good for Johnny, to sort of check a little bit the water, seeing how things are, and so on and so forth. So for me, it's a good move. People shouldn't read too much into it, honestly. It's kind of silly that people are trying to, oh, he shouldn't have done it, he should have done it. I had a little bit the same feeling, like, okay, this is a small thing, does he really need to do it? But if you put it in the context of also trying to reach a younger audience, testing the water, acknowledging the audience, right? Acknowledging the fans, acknowledging the hundreds of, probably tens of millions of people around the world that whether they're JD supporter or they're supporter of the truth, they are behind him right now. So that's a good step. So what do you think, guys? As always, some writers here at Independent, they have to take a shot, at being a little bit controversial, or at least they have to take a shot at Johnny Depp, because probably they have a different agenda than the truth. But here we are, we like the truth. We like to support real victims. We like to support men, women, whatever gender that has gone through like an abusive relationship. We support survivors every day of the week on this channel, and I'm pretty sure you do as well. So what you think about those guys? What you think about those news outlets doing Johnny Depp dirty as usual? So, but at the end of the day, there isn't much they can do, because most definitely Johnny Depp will be back very quickly in bigger projects. So this is just the beginning. Guys, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for the support. Subscribe in mass. Bam, 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 bam. The more the merrier. Always spread love. Ciao.